I mean, I know very few about functional medicine, but I know very few about medicine in general. So it's not it's not my. I've luckily never been too sick or like besides some bones
Right.
out or whatever. So for those like me, what is functional medicine? How do you describe your the job that you do?
So we're really looking at the root cause of why you're sick, right? There's so much illness now that people are getting diagnosed with autoimmune disease, with Lyme disease is becoming much more prevalent, but that's a lot more due to things like global warming and just having those bugs in many other places now
Mm,
than they were before. Um, and then so we're looking at, okay, why are you sick? Let's not necessarily just throw medication at you. Let's really work on helping you get better and stay better. Medications most definitely have their place in this world. But we, especially in the United States, have a lot of chronic illness. And so it's working with people on that lifestyle,
mhm.
diet, things that people can do at home to help them feel better. But that doesn't always, solve the problem. We're looking at also stress reduction and all of those things that we all talk about that really is a causative factor in why so many people are sick now.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the things that I wanted to ask you also, like mental health in general. Like, how was it to be abroad or be in a place, and then suddenly, because of a bite of an insect, your world changes, no? Also, because
Yeah,
uh, and that for sure was a toll on your mental health at some point. Like, yeah.
absolutely. Yes, absolutely. And I got we were moving at that same time internationally. So back from Cambodia to Dallas, Texas, which also was not my home state. I didn't know anybody. I'm completely alone in that environment as well. And my husband was traveling all the time for work. And so I was there with a baby and a 2 year old, and I was really, really sick. And it was a very difficult time. Just mental health wise, I just never felt good. And when you don't feel good, your mental health really isn't great either, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Um, and so I struggled. I won't say that I didn't. And so I was lucky enough to have like my mother-in-law and my mom come and help me because I thought I could do it all. We're told push through, do it all. You've got this. Don't complain. And then one day I was just like, no, I can't actually do all of this on my own. I'm
Mm,
struggling. And so, yeah, I was lucky to have my mom and my mother-in-law be able to come and help me during that time. But it's just something that I think that needs to be addressed more often in people, even if you're not chronically sick, just in general, the amount of mental health issues that we see in the world because of stress and every life in
yeah.
general. And we're just told not to deal with it. And especially in the world that I live in, and we're state, how do I put this? Mental health was not always a something that
No, there was
was
no
really,
awareness.
no,
There
there was
is
not a lot of awareness. Yeah,
absolutely.
that's
I
a,
mean, I think we come most of us from. I mean, unless the new generations, maybe they are changing a bit, but the our generations, everything was like I don't know, like
yeah,
psychologists and psychiatrics were for mental mental problems, and that's it. And this whole like pushing and things, and
yeah,
okay, you are sad, just be happy, and things doesn't work like that. It's not that easy,
exactly.
like
Yeah,
unfortunately, it would be very nice to be just like, okay, I force myself to be happy and that's it, and then that solves all of my problems. But it's not the reality. So,
but it's not how
uh,
it works,
no,
right? Yeah.
absolutely not.
So I think there's
Um,
so much more awareness around it
mm,
now, and that's good. Where hopefully the younger generations will continue to carry that forward.
nice. What about the fact of? I suppose you needed to explain that wherever you went, like arriving to a new place and with your medicines, which I don't know, you cross the border and they, okay, now I need to explain again, this is the medicine for that and this is for that. And then I don't know, if you needed to do any regular check or anything in the doctor, you needed to explain everything again.
Yeah, and they don't, and like Lyme is a weird thing that's not always recognized by every doctor. They'll be like, you don't really have that, or, there's like a lot of weirdness around it. And so I actually would often just go back home, which is not ideal, but that's where my doctor was. And like, that's where I felt I was getting the best care. So I would usually go back, but it made it, yeah, it was tough because not everybody believes like, oh, you have Lyme disease, even though I clearly have paperwork that says that I do. So just re-explaining it and, being believed. Oftentimes people are sick and they're, especially women, and they're not, nobody believes them. So hitting up against that as well.
Maybe one last question before we jump to your life hack and advice.
Yeah.
I moved 3-4 countries already now. How do you move all your stuff? It's the moving. It's always a nightmare. I'm trying to break a little bit the health moment, but it's just like, how do you do? Like, do you have do you take your husband jobs take care of it?
They do. So I am very lucky in that we have a certain weight limit, right? Okay. And so within that weight limit, we can ship items. And so in that aspect, I am very lucky because I know that a lot of people have to either get containers or they just sell everything and then they move. So we do have that luxury. I'll say it's a luxury to have the help with moving. But still, I find myself having to go through everything in the house. I'm like in that now, and even when you move every 2 to 3 years, you still accumulate a lot of stuff.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah. So that's where I'm at now, is just like going through it. And then I have this sort of system of like stickers of things that I want to come with us on the airplane, things that are going to go in storage, and things that will come on the ship. So like, I've kind of gotten a little system over the last few years, and like those things that you need right when you get there, or to take with you. And now things will be different. This is the first time like we don't have toys, or we're not trying to, do that kind of stuff with the kids. So it's a little bit different. But I think moving is just stressful.
It is.
In general.
Yeah. How do you deal with it actually? Because I know like always there is this like 2-3 months before the move where you start romanticizing where you are, and when you live for the last 2-3 years and everything, it's like, oh, I will miss this, and I will miss this food, and I will miss this coffee shop, and oh, I need to say goodbye to this one, to this person, to this other, and then arriving to a place blank, and it's just like, okay, what I'm doing here now, I need to rebuild everything. It's a sensation that it's not easy to deal with. I don't know.
Yeah. And I'm in that romanticizing moment right now, and trying to see all the people, eat at all the restaurants, knowing that like, for me, like I love Mexican food, and I know that that's not going to be obviously readily available in Cairo. And so I'm like eating it all the time. And my kids are like, not again, Mom. Like we don't, or just the convenience of America, for better or worse. Like I can get whatever I need whenever I want it. And so just that mindset shift is, okay, things are just going to be a little different. And then getting there, and I am lucky in Cairo that I have a couple of friends. And so they're kind of setting, things up and helping me out. Like, this is the internet guy you want to use, or this or that, right?
The basic stuff, no?
The basics.
Internet provider, water provider, electricity provider, and here there is the best coffee of the city and the best restaurant to eat.
Absolutely.
Important information. Always.
Yeah.
And here is the book club of English speakers.
Yes. Simple, and not just like people in the embassy. I want like, where are the English speakers, but like a broad scope of people, right?
Cool. I would say if we jump to I mean, we will get back to culture comparisons and deep diving. And I also have some questions from the audience, which I
Okay.
reserved from that. So I didn't ask them myself, but I let the audience ask them. But before we do that, I would ask you if you have any major piece of advice, any life hack that you would like to share, that you would say, okay, this is what I recommend everyone to do when moving abroad.
Yep. I have two.